And then Champions League action today. Borussia Dortmund taking on Chelsea. It'll be Dortmund who would beat Graham Potter's side by 1-0 to nil. Adeyemi with incredible individual goal, which proved to be the difference between the two sides. Once again, Chelsea had plenty of chances, but failed to find the back of the net. Frank and Jules with us. Frank, it's the same thing every time.
It is, Dan, and it seems to be that it's impossible to sort out. But I have to say that it's maybe the best game I've seen Chelsea playing for a big while, I would say, and maybe under Graham Potter. It was very balanced the first half, but I think Chelsea was better the second half and deserved to win. But as you said, when you have 21 shots on goals and you can't score a goal, and I think if Joao Felix was absolutely superb in the game, creating the chances, it was pretty, let's say, unlucky, maybe clumsy in front of the goal. Defensively, they were good. I thought Koulibaly had a great game with Thiago Silva, and everybody worked out very well. But one mistake: corner kick for you, counter-attack, goal, bye-bye. Fantastic run from Adeyemi. But I don't think Chelsea deserved to lose today. It was, I think, a very good performance. But as you said, again, same thing. You have chances, you don't score.
It was fun, right? It was a good game to watch. It was end-to-end, both teams having chances, but the frustrations must be there. So obviously, people are going to continue to question Graham Potter. How much can he do to help his team when they're creating chances but they're not converting them?
Get his number 9 kit on.
Right, get one himself.
Put his boots on.
Yeah.
See if he can put the ball in the back of the net.
But how much blame really should he have, considering that...
Well, the buck stops with the manager. I mean, I only had one eye in this game. It was the left eye.
Oh, really? That's your bad eye.
I agree with Frank, the bits that I saw, particularly the second half. I thought Chelsea's build-up play was actually very good. But their finishing, you know, Koulibaly was a little bit unlucky. The keeper made the save, it cleared off the line. Joao Felix should have scored.
Yeah, put over the bar.
Some of his general play is really good. I mean, he looks like he's got the sparkle back, but he put two of them over the bar in the first half. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the tie's not dead, is it?
No.
I mean, if they play like that at Stamford Bridge, it's going to be down to the same thing again.
Yeah.
Havertz isn't a finisher. Felix isn't a finisher, he's a playmaker. Aubameyang's out the door.
Yeah.
I mean, Broja's injured. Somebody needs to stick the ball in the back of the net. I mean, it is basically quite simple for them.
Yeah, and of course for Borussia Dortmund, it was Adeyemi who put it in the back of the net. From a striker, I know you've got a lot of experience of this, Ali. Running with the ball from pretty much the length of the pitch. It must be so difficult to keep your composure after that and do what he did, as opposed to just go, oh, I'm knackered.
No, well, see, you are expecting and hoping that at some point the defender, in this case Enzo Fernandez, is going to try to get a nibble of the ball. Is going to try to dive in. And when he dives in, that's when you use the change of pace. That's when you use the speed. And that was a mistake of Enzo Fernandez. He was delaying. He should have continued to delay and hope that he was going to get some help eventually. But he went for a little dip of the shoulder. He went for a little, I think I can get to this ball. And that's the moment in which Adeyemi said, no, you're not. Yeah. That was the change of speed. That's when you see the athleticism, gets around the goalkeeper, puts it away, and then just as impressive, the celebration, the inverted flip.
To have the effort to then do a flip after all that running.
But to your point, it does take patience. It does take some maturity, which you wouldn't think Adeyemi would have, such a young player. But that he doesn't get desperate. He knows that there's going to be a moment in which he's going to cut to the inside or the outside whenever Enzo Fernandez gives him that opportunity, and he took it so very well. When Enzo Fernandez went diving in for a ball, there was no chance he was going to get to it.
How good was that goal, Frank?
Oh, that was great. Even if I think Kepa could have done better, he almost touches the ball. But I agree with Ale. I mean, Enzo Fernandez is a midfielder. He's not a defender. To slow down, to try to push a little bit Adeyemi, maybe on his left side. You know, pushing him away from the goal would have been a good idea. But the guy is so fast. So you have to make a decision very quickly. You're running backwards. It's always difficult. You're waiting for Thiago Silva to come back, but he doesn't do that much. So at some point you make a decision, and you have not even half of a second to make that decision. But yeah, all credit to the player. I mean, the first control was great. the pace is great, the take-on is great, and the finishing is great as well. So, well done, man.
It's great.
You know, well, you're a good player.
There wasn't one Chelsea player in the defensive aspect of it made a good decision.
Right.
You should never be caught like that.
Yeah.
Don't care how quick you are. And once Enzo Fernandez is one-on-one, he gets the afterburners. Kepa's got to, as Frank said, Kepa's got to make a better decision. Once he commits, then he's going to go round him, or he's going to give a penalty away. If he backs off, then Adeyemi has to take a strike from, it's quite an angle.
Yes.
So there was just bad decision-making all round from that defensive aspect, and that's ultimately what cost them.
There was good decision-making from the referee. Suhil Manzano. There was offside, said play on. The recognition that this is, even if you are 80 yards from goal, it's still an opportunity because of a clear counter-attack. Beautifully done from Suhil Manzano, even more beautiful from Adeyemi.
It's interesting from Adeyemi, of course, who's quite a frustrated figure, Jules, since making that much-hyped move to Dortmund. Really struggled in the opening half of the season. That's 3 goals in 3 now for him, where he was just starting to show the glimpse of the skill that he had as to why he had so much excitement around this signing.
Yeah, you're right, completely. He's a completely different player since the restart after the World Cup and the winter break that he had. Maybe just needed a bit of time to digest the move and get used to Edin Terzic's tactics and Dortmund in the Bundesliga. I don't know, maybe moving him onto the left-hand side was a good idea, and certainly seems to work with him on the left and Julian Brandt on the right. And I think this is a team that plays with a lot of confidence. You win 7 in 7. And you play well, you score, you attacking wise, they've got so many options, there's a lot of movement. Then I think you pick up that confidence as well, even if you're young at Adeyemi and you've been struggling in the first half of the season. So it's good to see that, I guess, all the work that he's put in is paying off now. And now there's that start of consistency, and if he can keep that up, even if he's only 19, he's got so much talent, it was never an issue, but at some point you can't just rely on your pace, which is what a lot of those young players with a lot of pace tend to do. And if he can evolve a little bit and use his head a bit more and get mature, then I think that pace used right with all the rest, all the other skills, will be devastating.
Right, Frank. Chelsea have only scored more than 1 goal in a game. You have to go back to November, the last time they did that. How do they score goals?
I don't have the answer for that. I mean,
right, good.
It just, yeah. No, but it's crazy because again, you know, they create chances, and João Felix has like 2 chances, crazy chances, and doesn't finish it. Where we know that he could do that. Enzo Fernandez, the last kick of the game when Kobel saved it. I mean, that was going to the top corner. So maybe it's also a lack of chances. Hopefully, it's gonna turn their way very soon, and they can score goals because they can go through. I think they are a better team than Dortmund, but you have to score goals in order to justify that.
I know.
There is a portion of blame should be attached to these players,
right?
Because
and the recruitment surely as well.
Well.
Like, we've all sat here for so long saying that you need a striker at Chelsea, and they go out and spend all this money elsewhere, yet we're still sat here seeing a void in that number 9
But some of the chances they're creating and have created are not particularly difficult chances. I mean, Felix's wasn't particularly difficult. Even the one where Emre Can threw himself in front of it and he tried to whip it in, he's leaning back, that goes over. The one he tried to clip over the goalkeeper. Even the one in the second half that fell at his feet, and he had no back left, but he hit it straight at the goalkeeper from, I don't know, 15 yards or so. It needs, they're not natural goal scorers, but they can still do better. It needs more care and attention in the final third. It needs a little bit more composure in that box to find the corner. Yeah, as Frank said, the keeper every now and again will pop up and make a worldie. You can't do anything about that. But some of these players are going to have to stand up and take the responsibility of putting the ball in the back of the net. You can't keep turning around and saying, well, we haven't got Didier Drogba, we haven't got these players. Somebody's going to have to do it.
I heard a Dan. I think it's from France.
Yes. Yeah, Dan, I have a question because you put that on the table. Who would you have bought in order to get a striker? Who would you have bought, in a winter transfer? There is nobody free. I mean, not free. Even for 100 million, who you can get, who can be the striker for Chelsea? Nobody is available. You want Osimhen, they don't want to let him go. You won't get Alan, you won't get, I don't know, anybody else. You don't have a striker you can buy. Really, I'm looking for the right striker where you are up. Well, let's say 90% sure he's going to score goals. You don't have any.
It's got to be. Look, I don't know. Look, I don't pay any attention to what's going on mostly. Jules, you do a lot more. For 100 million, surely there is a striker out there that Chelsea could have come who could at least have got them some goals.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get the point that Frank is making. Of course, if you try to get Osimhen in January, it would be very difficult. The issue I have is that Chelsea didn't try. They didn't even try to get a clinical striker in January, and that's my issue. If you try and you get a no from Osimhen, or for Napoli, you get a no for Kane, you get a no for Sesko, you get no, you go young, you go different profiles even, but you go for you try hard. And then you don't get one. It's fair enough. You've tried, and then you make do with what you have. They didn't even try. They spent 120 on Enzo and 90 on Mudryk and all of that. But at no point they tried for a striker, and they're waiting for the summer. They still have Lukaku on their books. I don't know where they're going to go. Aubameyang is still there. They're still paying Aubameyang a fortune, and the guy is staying at home on his sofa. There's a lot of things for that position that has been going on for the last 6 to 7 months. So they will have to fix it at some point. But I agree with Craig. Some of those chances, you don't have to be the best goal scorer of all time. You don't have to be Cristiano Ronaldo at his peak to score them. So it's just about working and keeping the confidence and having that composure in front of goals. To the one that Joao Felix puts on the crossbar, it's almost harder to hit the crossbar than to actually put the ball in the goal. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it's pointless to discuss about players that are not here.
Right.
Or that could have been here, but they didn't chase. Yeah. Right? So you ask the question, how do they score goals now? Well, those guys that aren't here are not going to score those goals, right? So you need more productivity from guys like Mudryk. He's all flicks and tricks, has to be more effective. Guys like Ziyech that found good positions today has to be more efficient, more effective in the final third. Find a good cross, find a good decision, find a final pass that makes sense, so that then if it is tap-ins that you're going to score, then at the very least make decisions that lead you to the tap-in.
You keep going with Havertz?
Well, first of all, you have to refer to him as Mr. Havertz, as Frank does.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why does Frank... Oh, because he always says that when he's being disrespectful.
Yes, when Mr. Havertz,
if
we don't want to see you anymore.
If he ever
Mr.
calls you Mr. Moreno, you know you're in trouble.
Well,
who's going for it?
I can't believe that I can't believe that I have to be criticized because I say Mr. before every name. You
don't say it before every name. You say it before a name you're going to criticise.
Yeah.
That's why you keep saying Mr. Cucurella. Craig, who's going for it?
I'm going to say Dortmund. Oh. Because I think Chelsea will push.
Right.
And we saw, particularly in the first half, in the final third, they can shift the ball around. And they've got that bit of pace that Jules talked about, and Bellingham from the middle of the park. So yeah, I'm going to say Dortmund on the counter-attack at Stamford Bridge.
You know my current strong ties to the Bundesliga.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm going to pick Chelsea.
Oh, Ali, where's the support? Mr. Leboeuf?
Don't ask me the question, Of course, Chelsea, I think they. I told you, I explained to you, they were better today. They showed that they were better. If they finished the job,
Bar's low,
scoring. Yeah, true,
right.
true. But it's still Chelsea.
All right, Jules, who's going through?
I think if Chelsea can build a bit on what we saw positive today against Southampton, they should smash Southampton at the weekend, and then they Spurs away, which is tricky. But if they can build some momentum before the second leg, then I think they can turn it around. Yeah, so I said Chelsea.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.